So today is Monday, December 17, 2018, Central European time. It's around 2 p.m. It's approximately 2 p.m. and we go right into the crypto market capitalization. Unfortunately, I didn't have my sound on before, so I have to repeat everything I said in the last 20 or 15 minutes. So I have to redo this again. All right, we have a market capitalization like a drop on a hot stone. It's well, of course, it's a volatile. I mean, we're in the crypto market. I mean, what else? With a Bitcoin dominance of 54.9%, it's like more than half. More than half of the market capitalization is Bitcoin. Bitcoin hovers around at approximately. It's been hovering around 2,900, 3,000, 2,900, 2,800. If I, pull this a little bit together, we can see it a little bit on a little shorter time frame. So, okay, that's like only US dollars, but in one way or another, it was like the lowest price was around 2,200, 2,300 US dollar. Okay, I think we can agree on that. So, let me just say this first before, because that's the title of this video, is hold on to your private keys. It's about, total decentralization. It's about hardest money. It's about store of value. It's about Austrian economics. The principles of Austrian economics is hardest money. And that means, the fiat money is as good as obsolete, meaning, your dollars, your euros, whatever, fractional, centralized controlled, central banking controlled fractional reserve banking there is out there. And it's obsolete, it's just a matter of time. We're just sort of going through these cycles and phases of inflation and recession and devaluation and debasement and the debt bubble is getting bigger and bigger. That's the real bubble. If you want to talk about bubbles, let's talk about fiat. Let's talk about this totally inflationary, destructive, inflationary money, economical, financial system that is based on Keynesianisms. The guy was called Keynes, so who was not an economist even. He couldn't even really deduct logically, what he was saying or with his theories. Anyway, hold on to your private keys. That's the most important message, I think, in this video. Whether you have one Bitcoin, many Bitcoins, or whether you have a fraction of a Bitcoin, Satoshis, don't forget, one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis, and one Bitcoin, is divisible into 8 decimals. So there's, ample room and space, if you want to go into the tiny fractions of Bitcoin, you can do that. So you don't need a whole Bitcoin. That's my whole point. And start accumulating. I mean, as it goes downwards, and it will still, there's still a lot of space going downward. And by the way, what Ethereum, because it's all interconnected, and the ICOs that are being chased and prosecuted and whatever, all these procedures against by the SEC, by the Securities Exchange Commission in the United States, ongoing. So I just read that there's like, I don't know, just recently, I think an amount of 400,000 Ethereum have been sold because, the ICOs, all these fraudulent, scammy, incompetent, non-delivering or non-registered securities, just put it bluntly, that's why that's the main reason, because if it's not a utility, it's a security, period. That's it. And so they have to repay the investors, whether it be, in individual lawsuits or class action lawsuits. We still, there's still, this whole process is still ongoing, developing, and I'm reading all these articles from very solid positioned lawyers over there in the United States. So yeah, it's a good thing. Because it's overdue. The SEC, Security Exchange Commission, if they're dancing around and, acting like, oh, we got to protect the investors. Well, why didn't you, step in the first place? Like, not only months, but a couple of years ago. Because it was sort of floating in this gray zone between legality, illegality, confusion, distortion of information, of understanding. So, but the people who knew what they were doing, they were just speculating on those tokens, and let's be happy for them. And if they made a profit, they made a profit. But the whole process was just holistically. With legal regulatory frameworks, the investors, the public relation marketing guys, the YouTubers. I mean, it was just wrong. From the beginning to the end, it was all wrong. And I trust in the in solid investments. So if you have a project, if you have a CEO, a project whom you trust, whom you understand what they're doing, they have a track record, professionalism, track record of delivery, experience, a functional product, and not just a stupid white paper that any ghostwriter can write, but you have sort of a functional product, a service, something that that gives you a return investment eventually, data, numbers, yield, dividends, rewards, or rewards as it's called. Anyway, so hold on to your private keys. That's the most important thing. However you do it, if you get hit by a bus and the private key is gone, well, your Bitcoin or whatever your cryptos are gone. Okay, so so please hold on to your keys and whatever style you have. Okay, multi-signature, or you share the private key with someone trusted in your family, your partner, because what if you get hit by a bus? So you need to take care of your inheritance issues. That's what I'm saying. And because they've deserved it, okay? They've your family, whatever discussion or hatred or I mean, but in the end of the day, whoever you inherited to, you got to take care of that, okay? That issue before you die. So what I'm trying to say is that the private key is your unique, exclusive, non-intermediary key. Okay, there's no third party, there's no bank, no institutions, nothing in between. It's you and your private key. All right, and get yourself a hardware wallet. All right, there's the video in the video description below. You will see a Trezor. If you want to support also me a little bit, go to that page and get yourself a hardware Trezor wallet, please. All right, whether it's a Trezor Model T, Trezor Model 1, it doesn't matter. Get yourself a hardware wallet from Trezor, because it's the most easiest, user-friendliest, most secure, most updated, really totally professional laboratories on security, and it's really hardcore security. All right, that's why it's called hardware wallet, because you don't type in anything on your display or on your typo thing or your keyboard. It's all plug in, and it's sort of everything is externalized. All right, so everything you type in, or your pin or whatever. So just familiarize yourself with that. It's really easy. There's tons of materials, and if you want to get coach consulted, contact me at www.keyvanDavani.youcanbook.me. youcanbook.me. It's right in the video description below. And by the way, check out my article, my latest one. It's such a short, inspirational, taboo-breaking article, as I said here, with loving dedication to my humble, wise father during his last breath of human existence. Bless his soul. Is in the dying stage. I'm dealing with it, and yeah, so it's about the total decentralization of the illegitimate and self-appointed centralized global banking cartel. The phrase centralized global banking cartel also Andreas M. Antonopoulos used in one of his awesome videos, making people understand what it's all about in the bigger picture. Still, a logical, ethical solution is only Bitcoin and Austrian economics, the principles of economics. And it's right in the video description below. You can also see it, check it out on Facebook, Twitter, on my Twitter account / at Keyvan Davani, or on LinkedIn. Yeah, whatever way you want to connect with me. And one last thing. If you are a game developer, or you know any kind of Oh, beautiful. All right. That's it always happens. I'm totally so in my rant. Okay, I forgot my screen share before, but okay, this is all right. Again, this is the article on medium.com, but again, the link is the short link is right in video below the video description, and you can find it also on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and whatever way you want to connect with me. And yeah, so this is by the way, again, this is the Bitcoin price and chart on coinmarketcap.com. So right now we are at around 3,000 euros again. It's gone a little bit up, but it was already below 2,900, 2,800, and it will. I'm sure it will go below even 2,700, 2,500, and maybe even below that. But it's the art of it is trust, understand the fundamentals, comprehend it, hold on to your private keys, and start accumulating little by little. All right, because we don't have a crystal ball or oracle. What exactly which space. I mean, you can't really apply technical analysis, especially not in this crypto space, especially not, Bitcoin. So it's a multitude of factors playing in with Security Exchange Commission, of course, speculation, whales moving, wallets moving from one. So it's, very intrinsically interconnected process. All right. What I was going to say is that to come back, can you see that? Yeah. If you're a game developer, it's a sort of a side platform of Spectre.ai. It's betverse.io. And if you are a game developer, game developers, programmers, designers, creative people, especially who can bring a little bit more ethics, content, intelligence into this gaming space or betting space, because you can go on betverse.io right now and, start playing around, testing the games. But if you want to compete with one another, you want to bet, you want to elevate yourself into other levels with other people and socialize and, earn money while you play, that's the way to go. And as a game developer, you can go on betverse.io, go to submit game right on the game developers page, and there you can fill out the form, what type of game you can deliver, the criteria, the different integrated games, virtual games. So and then you can, it's sort of a passive income for you. So you get a certain percentage of within that decentralized autonomous liquidity pool on every bet, on every game. There's money lost or won, so you get a certain percentage as a game developer, and it's all about decentralization, trust, and a regular income, a regular dividend reward that you get then every weekly, monthly, quarterly, or maybe even a special dividend, maybe yearly. So yeah, so the details you can check out with betverse.io. And if you are into sports betting, esports and stuff, then there's this Phantasm, I think it's called. Phantasm. I think it's called Phantasm.io for specifically about sports betting and all this stuff. But I'm right now talking all about gaming, because it's a really undervalued, underestimated, billion dollar industry, and still the big boys, the big names, big brands still have a dominance over it. So what I'm saying is that I'm hoping through this process we can also bring in more game developers, design more games that are where people, especially younger people, kids, teenagers, start learning, and based on knowledge, on a science, technology, and somehow integrate that learning process, because people already have a sort of a short attention span. That my hope is that we bring a little bit more content, more knowledge based gaming, skill based in creating games into this space. All right, don't forget, hold on to your private keys, hodl, and just consider it right now, because right now, I mean, of course you could install a Lightning Network node, but to be honest with you, I looked at it, I could do it myself, but it's still way too complicated. It's still way too many instructions. And yes, you can do, you can eventually send and receive on your own node, on your own, connecting node on your computer. You can install it. It wouldn't be a problem. And you have to go through that process, but it's still not user-friendly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that the payment system, the transactional, the layering, the second layer Lightning Network will become much, much more easier, user-friendly, and really simple, or simple and easy. But right now, just look at Bitcoin as a store of value and hardest money. It's the new foundation, healthy, balanced, ethical and really logical foundation, which you can build a house on it, and all the ecosystems that surround it. All right, you cannot build a house on a toxic foundation. All right, that's about it. My name is Keyvan. Davani. It's about total Bitcoin, total crypto, total blockchain, total decentralization, total immutability, and total trust, and total value, which I wish to give you. All right, my name is Keyvan Davani, Total Connector, and I'll see you soon again. Again, check out my article, and hopefully that's what I was going to say. The last point is I submitted my longer article, jurisprudential legal article, in a way, in connection with Bitcoin, central banking cartel, and Bank for International Settlements, to the legal journals, which I had already published many years ago, without any problems whatsoever. It was, different topic on product liability, internal documents of the tobacco industry, but now they got all rejected, and my last hope, without any reasoning, without any arguments, or I don't even know why. So, I guess it's a taboo. And so my last hope, realistic hope, is that the Mises Institute, the School of Austrian Economics, which, by the way, my article is based on Austrian economics and, legal elaboration and Bitcoin and, then total decentralization. I'm hoping that I just submitted it a few weeks ago. I'm hoping that they're going to publish it. So, wish it for me, and maybe you can, if you know anybody at the Mises Institute, please contact them. I'll be happy, to get a feedback from you. That's about it. My name is Keyvan Davani. I'm the Total Connector, and I'll see you soon again. Merry Christmas if we don't hear from one another, and a really happy New Year for 2019. It's going to be an awesome year. Bye-bye. And like and share my videos.